What's going on, YouTube? Zion Zenith back in your life on a wonderful Thursday morning. Here to give you guys my picks for week 3. We are going to change the show up a bit. I'm going to probably cover some things that's been going on around the NFL alongside my picks for the week, trying to improve the content for you guys so I can always give my opinions on the NFL week, how I thought it was, and then obviously give you guys my picks of the weeks. I just want to thank again the Big Blue Crew for hosting me on their platform. Obviously, I'm a member of the Big Blue Crew, and if you guys are not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys go subscribe, hit the bell icon for you never miss a video, and make sure you guys like. And the best thing about it is it's absolutely free. So yes, guys, big things happen in the week. So I want to touch on it, but we're gonna probably touch on it when we get to the respected teams. So right now we're just gonna be previewing the games, and if we get to a team that has a highlighted topic that I want to discuss, I'm gonna take a little bit of time and kind of get into that. That being said, we have the New England Patriots versus the New York Jets. This week's matchup for Thursday Night Football. Shout out to Amazon actually getting good games this year. That being said, for all my Big Blue Crew members, if you guys want to join the show, the link is going to be in the Twitter. I'm not going to post the link in the comment section due to reasons we already know. That being said, let's get into it. We got the New England Patriots, man. Tough matchups, going in week 1 and week 2. They were able to overcome the Bengals in week 2, and then overcome the Bengals in week 1 in that week 1 upset, and unfortunately losing last week, taking on the 1-1 New York Jets that just got their first victory last week against the Tennessee Titans. Now, the first thoughts of this game, I'm looking at this game and I'm just completely looking at the Jets. I'm not trying to overlook the Patriots, but that was my first thoughts. I'm like, the Jets are going to come in. They're at MetLife. They're going to come in and they're probably going to put up points. Aaron Rodgers is probably going to have a good game. I don't see anybody on New England's side of the ball that is a threat to the defense that the Jets can bring. But then I thought about the first 2 weeks. I don't know a single soul that picked the Patriots to win against the Bengals. I don't know anybody, okay? And as far as the Patriots going out there, and I believe they played the Seahawks, they played them in a tough matchup. The Seahawks is a tough team, regardless what anybody says. They have an electric offense, and the Patriots was able to make it a closer game than people imagine. With the Jets, they have a solid defense. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is getting back into his throwing motions, getting more comfortable with that regenerated line. And obviously, the line is actually blocking better than years past. When you get his receivers, he gets Mike Williams back at full health. I know he had like one catch for like 19 yards last week, but I know he was still banged up. So you're gonna see a fully healthy Mike Williams. You have Garrett Wilson, obviously, and you got that Jets defense that is just potent. This is a tough matchup for both teams. This is a division game, and obviously, when it comes down to these division games, you can just grab the records and you can just throw them to the trash can, throw them on the side. It doesn't matter. I'm probably gonna be leaning the Jets, basically only because they do play at home, and I do think that their defense is a whole lot stronger. What's up, Alex? Thank you so much for joining the show, man. You're more than welcome to appear if you want to. I don't know if you're on the road, if you're busy, if you can, it's all good. But the link is in the Twitter if you choose to appear. But thank you so much for holding down the comment section. That being said, I am gonna lean with the home team. I'm gonna go with the New York Jets. I just think Aaron Rodgers has the capability to really go out there and show the reasons why he's the top level quarterback in this league. He's, like I said earlier, he's getting his throwing motion back. He's getting more comfortable. Obviously, he's been on the team for a while, but we all know what happened last year. He got hurt. So now he's just getting his feeling back, and he's getting his timing more down with game speed with Garrett Wilson. It's one thing doing it in practice. It's a different thing doing it live in the game. And then the defense. I think the defense really comes up big in this one. I think Sauce Gardner, Williams, and the boys. Is Williams hurt? No, it's not Williams. It's mostly. So I think Williams and the boys come out big in this one as well. And even not only Clinton, even the linebacker, I believe Williams is going to show up as well. Good team the Jets have. You never overlooking the Patriots. The Patriots are going to probably push to run the football more while they get their young receivers acclimated to the offense. Obviously, I just don't believe that Jacoby Brissett has the manpower to beat the Jets. I know I overlooked them week 1. They beat the Bengals, guys, but we all know the Bengals always starts off to a slow start. So I'm going to probably ride with the Jets here in this one, guys. Alrighty, moving on to the Trash Can Giants versus the Cleveland Browns. Now, this is a team that I'm going to take a little bit more time focusing on, being that it's my team. And a lot of people, I just want you guys to realize I'm just not hating on the Giants to hate on the Giants. If you guys been watching Premium Takes the whole summer, that's been the narrative. The Giants doesn't have a team to compete. We're one injury away from garbage, and it didn't even take the injury. It took the play calling of a coach that looks like he's playing JV football. I don't care that people want to say, "Oh, we looked good against the Redskins." It doesn't matter. We always look good against the Redskins, and did we even look that good against the Redskins? I mean, like that shit was sad. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm a Giants. What's up, Murder BX? Thank you so much for being here. Obviously, I'm a Giants fan, but when it comes to this team, I throw my bias out the window. I mean, like as long as Daniel Jones is still the quarterback of this team, and as long as Brian Dable is still calling this horrendous play calling, there's no way we're going to beat teams like the Browns. Yeah, we're going to look good against the Redskins. I'm sorry, the Washington Commanders. Yeah, we're going to look good against the Panthers in week 11 in Germany if jet lag doesn't get us. But as far as we go, we can't do anything. We really can't do anything. Yeah, we go and we move the ball down the field. Yeah, we score some touchdowns, but I'm talking about doing something against good teams. Giants, as much as I'm roasting you guys right now, go out there, go to Cleveland and beat them. Beat them in their home at the home field. Beat them at the home stadium. Go out there and beat a team like the Cleveland Browns that literally is looking to dominate us. Pause. Okay. The only thing that's been actually looking good for the Giants is obviously Malik Neighbors. Shout out to Malik and our offensive line. So for once, the offensive line can actually block. And then you look at the rest of the team. Obviously, it starts up front with play calling, and then you look at the defense. It's like can the secondary help out for we can damn get a coverage sack? Or are you guys just gonna let them move the football up and down the field and score touchdowns? Okay, yeah, I get it, guys. It's the Washington Commanders. We should have won that game. Yeah, we're playing against a rookie fucking quarterback. Pause. A rookie quarterback. Okay, this is the get right game for Deshaun Watson right now. He's gonna eat us alive. Ayo, Kayvon, Ayo Burns. I get it. You guys improved. You guys improved. Clap, clap from week one. But I get it. You can't get coverage sacks because our secondary sucks. But shit, they're trying, man. Phillips, shout out to you. He's trying. Banks, obviously, Banks is Banks. He's trying. You know what I'm saying? This is not no Jefferson like week one. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what Murder has to say in the comments. They're definitely tough to watch, but I'm holding on hope. Yeah, absolutely, man. That's why I'm saying I'm looking at my Giants cap. I didn't put it on today. I love this team, man. I bleed blue, obviously, man. I love this team, and I want to hope. I want to hope. You know, I want us to go out there and give the fight to the Browns, but we never gave fight since the preseason, since the backups for Detroit. Can we go out there and can we look good for once? Can we go out there and can we look like, okay, yes, the play calling is shitty. Okay, we get it. But can you actually go out there and fight? You're in the NFL, man. Like Georgia could beat us at this point, you know? And like at the end of the day, what's up, King Taj in the building? At the end of the day, I don't want to be negative. I don't want to talk like this. We've been talking about this all summer, and they're coming out and they're proving us right. We've been saying on Premium Takes, prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. Please shut me the hell up, Daniel Jones. And it's not even his. I don't want to take him out of the blame, but Brian Dable, can you can you put jet sweeps? Can you have higher on jet sweeps? Can you have some of your best players on the field when we need them on the field? Where's Theo Johnson at? Where's our tight ends at? Why aren't we utilizing Hyatt's speed? Okay, I get it. He may not be able to run every route in the tree. It doesn't mean you can't hand him off the ball. What if Hyatt was on the Chiefs? How would Andy Reid use Hyatt? Man, this has been terrible. And then you go take the play calling away from Kafka, and it damn looks like Kafka had better play calling. Like, don't get me wrong, Giants fans. Kafka was hard to watch as well. But man, this has been painful. Browns 31, Giants 13. Prove me otherwise, Giants. Prove me otherwise. Do something and prove me otherwise. Man, this team just makes me so frustrated. It's like, man, we have talent. We do. We have talent. And a lot of people laugh like, oh, well, Giants have talent. Yeah, we do. We do have talent, guys. We have talent. But can we use that talent? And Daniel Jones, man, you have a line, man. They're blocking for you, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, just get the ball to the open receiver, man. And Brian Dable, help your quarterback out. All this, Brian Dable is sabotaging. I mean, Adam used to call me on the phone like years ago, 2 years ago, and be like, oh yeah, Brian Dable is gonna sabotage Daniel Jones because he doesn't like that, doesn't like him. And Adam is actually looking right at this point. And Adam, I don't want to even bring up his name, but at the end of the day, like he was right about Joe Judge. He's looking right about Daniel Jones. He's looking right about Brian Dable. I mean, like, my God, this team is terrible. But hopefully we can rebound and hopefully we can beat the Browns. A new quarterback incoming, absolutely. Cam Ward's out there. Jaden Monroe is out there. I know Krim Ewers just got hurt, but he's out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Archie's just gonna take the starting job. I know Archie's good. Don't get me wrong. He looked good, but I think when Krim is back, Krim is back. You know, we have all these other quarterbacks coming out as well. We have Dylan Gabriel in Oregon. You know, we have Penn State quarterback. I don't know if he's coming out. Obviously, Miller Moss will probably stay another year in SC. Point being, guys, we have all these quarterbacks. Cam Ward for me too. I think Cam Ward could electrify this offense. Something that Jaden Daniels is doing for Washington. Yeah, he may take off at the first sign of pass rush, at the first sign like, oh, I better get the hell out of here. But at the end of the day, at least he's giving the fans excitement. At least the fans of the Commanders is excited because they know what's to come in the future. They're 1 year in front of us because they have the quarterback in place. We now have to go out there and look for a quarterback. And then it's like, are we going to keep Brian Dable or are we going to keep Joe Shane? If both of them wins, if the team wins less than 3 games this year, get them gone. Get rid of both of them. Fire everybody. Get a new staff in here. And Giants fans may be like, well, we don't like doing that. We don't like doing the same coaching staff every 2 years. Yeah, I don't like it either. And but at the end of the day, I want to let these guys have the ability to build out their regime. I want to let these guys have the ability to see their players that they drafted prospect and prosper and go on but it looks like every Giant that we draft, we go to better teams and win. Delvin Thomason goes to the Vikings and wins. Don't even get me started on Saquon Barkley and the Eagles. Okay, you have Xavier McKinney getting an interception in week 1 with Green Bay. It's all our players is performing outside of the Giants, but when they're on the Giants, they can't perform. It's like, this is just sad at this point. It's so tough, man. We honestly should get free Sunday ticket. But all Giants fans should get free Sunday ticket, like hydration check. Hydration break, man. Like, for real, if you're a Carolina Panthers fan, if you're a New York Giants fan, the NFL should be remorseful. The owners should actually pay. I'm not saying it's I'm not saying it's your fault that this team sucks. I know you love this team, but at the end of the day, y'all should pay for every single Giants fan Sunday ticket. Jesus. I don't even care if I don't even live in the area, okay? I live in California. Give New Yorkers a whole season for free. Even though you guys probably get the game on your guys' regular TV. And Sunday ticket is mostly for out-of-market games. But, bro, give us more than a fucking medium soda. Pause. I apologize for swearing. Alrighty. Giants, do something, please. Do something. John Murrow might have a heart attack. Jesus. That being said, sorry, not to joke about those kind of things. Those kind of things are serious. But the way that this team is playing, it is just sad. Alrighty. We got the Chicago Bears versus the Colts. Now, this is a topic that I kind of want to dig on too. Like, you guys know me. I live in California. I'm an SC fan. Absolutely love SC, and we'll talk about that another day. One thing I do want to talk about is the bots. I would say the bots. No, not the people like that live in their mom's basement. I'm talking about the actual bots. The actual bots that is actually verified, that is just stirring up the fan base. And then you have these I would say these uneducated fans that literally just ride on the hype, right? So Caleb Williams, generational player, supposed to be this, supposed to be that. Why is he doing it? Why doesn't he look like Patrick Mahomes 2.0? Shit. I mean, like, I suggest all of you guys, maybe you watching and maybe all of you fans on Twitter, go check out the Rich Eisen show when he's talking about this. This guy is a rookie, guys. He is a rookie behind one of the worst offensive lines in the game right now. And let me go into this. At least he's trying to show everybody that he can pass out of the pocket. But guess what? You can't. Nobody can behind that offensive line. That is just pitiful at this point. Y'all need to start rolling him out. He needs to start being more mobile. I get it. We don't want him to be mobile. We want him to be a pocket passer, but use him to his strengths, Chicago. he is getting killed behind that O-line. Then you have some other uneducated fans like, well, he had Keenan Allen. Well, Keenan Allen was hurt. Wasn't he watching the game? It's like all these Twitter fans. That's why I don't go on Twitter no more. All these uneducated Twitter bots are talking so much shit, and it's like you just expect him to be great. Was Josh Allen just an alien week year one? Was Josh Allen him year one? Was the Sheriff Peyton Manning him year one? Was Drew Brees him year one? If Patrick Mahomes started and not sat behind a veteran in Alex Smith, he would have played the Patriots and he would have played the Steelers. And that's the Patriots, but still coming off of that dynasty Patriots. And we all know what Bill Belichick does to rookie quarterbacks. So do you think Mahomes, without sitting for an entire year, would look that good versus the Patriots in his first start in the NFL and then go and play the Eagles? No, absolutely not. So can we just pump the brakes and give this guy actually some time to develop? And as the Chicago Bears, I don't think they made the wrong choice at all. Okay, yeah, they got the quarterbacks. Now, obviously, he's dying out there. Give the guy some help. Call some play callers to make it easier on him, and tell Caleb, fuck media. Just go out there and be you. Be the Caleb we drafted. Okay? And as far as for Caleb Williams, I don't want to see you walking away from a brother that is just trying to give you advice, okay? CJ Stroud is clearly looking like he's him. Clearly looking like he is about to take the next leap in his NFL career, okay? And what did veterans quarterbacks do for him? What does quarterbacks do for the league? They pass the knowledge on. At least some does, okay? At least some. All right, it's not their responsibility, but hey, after the game, you just got beat pretty bad. Let me just kind of keep your energy up. It's not over yet. Keep your head up. It's gonna be okay. Things are gonna get better. He's not trying to one up you, bro. He's not trying to big bro you, bro, Caleb. He's just trying to give you some advice, man. And as for Chicago Bears versus the Colts is a tough team as well, man. They got AR-15 out there. Obviously, the kicker looks like he's going to be injured. We'll see how that gets closer to Sunday. But that being said, they have a good defense, underrated. They have a good offense that they can get the ball to these fast receivers. They have a great running back in Jonathan Taylor. That's probably going to pick up some steam as the year goes on as well. I don't think he's officially done. But I honestly see Chicago Bears coming in, and call me crazy, but then they actually calling plays that actually makes it easier on Caleb Williams. And I get it. He didn't look that good against the Texans line. Obviously, it's the Texans line, the Texans D line we're talking about, But he did improve. He did improve from week one, and he's showing signs of progress, and that's what we want to see in our rookie quarterbacks. As far as generational goes, I think that's the media's fault. I think when the media hypes up these players, like how they're hyping up right now, they're hyping up Arch Manning, right? Obviously, because his last name. Nico's balling out. Nico's been balling out since fucking JV. Nico's been balling out. They're gonna start hyping up Nico. Cam Ward is on everybody's mind right now, right? At the end of the day, let's pump the brakes of calling someone generational. It's what these kids have to go out and perform, and the pressure's on them. And Caleb, the pressure is on you to go out there and to perform. Obviously, I just said we're gonna give you some time, and fans that is totally just dissing him and saying that it's a wash and this is a bad pick and Chicago messed up. They're just delusional, man. They just don't understand football. It takes time. That's why back in the day, quarterbacks would never start. Quarterbacks will come in and sit. Okay, there's a quarterback in Atlanta Falcons that when he gets his start, he's gonna look great. You know why? Because he has what's looking to be like a good coach, and he has Kirk Cousins. So he's sitting behind a coach and a Kirk Cousins. He's in that quarterback room. He's learning. He's developing. So when Penix finally goes out there, he's actually gonna look good. What's up, Joseph? Thank you so much for being here, bro. What up? What up? What up? He's actually gonna look good, I don't want to hear it like, oh, look at Penix, man. He was the best quarterback coming out of that draft because he's out there. Yeah, okay, because he's sitting like they did in I was gonna say the olden days, like they did in the past. Okay, before this whole, I'm 5 years old and I got myself a quarterback coach. Okay, they used to sit. Okay, nowadays everybody wants to start these quarterbacks and oh yeah, let's get them. Let's get tickets and seats. I think some of the best things for quarterbacks is to sit. And I'm not even going to say this to say this. I'm not even going to bring it up to say like, oh, I told you so. But I love Malik Neighbors, and I don't regret the pick at all. I want Malik Neighbors to be a Giant for life. The kid shows that he has skills. Malik Neighbors is him. But that's what I wanted us to do this year. To grab someone, I get it, it's Daniel Jones, but to grab someone and sit him the whole year behind Daniel Jones, whether it be a JJ, whether it be a Penix, and have him learn under Dable. Because Dable, you're a quarterback guru, huh? You have now your young quarterback. Now, if Daniel Jones goes out there and does shit, maybe, you know. But no, that being said, we got Malik Neighbors. I'm happy with that pick. I'm not trying to regress to the past. We'll get a quarterback and we'll find something else, you know? My bad. I see the Giant stuff. Yeah, you're all good, bro. Thank you so much for joining, man. I appreciate it. Oh, righty. We got the Texans going against Minnesota Vikings at home. Minnesota Vikings, man, be looking good. Be looking good this year. I will say that. You know, going out there and stopping the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I will say this. Can we all agree that San Francisco without CMC is just like a different offense? Can we all agree that San Francisco is either CMC or it's either Debo, right? It's one of the two. It's either CMC or it's either Debo. If one of them goes out, Kyle Shanahan's offense just explodes. Like, Vikings look good, man. Vikings look good, but Texans honestly look better. The Texans look better. Chicago has a tough defense. You know, they went out there and played a division opponent in the Colts. The Vikings almost lost, like was leading the game, majority of the game, but San Francisco almost came back. And the Giants is just the Giants. So give me the Texans. Give me the Texans to come here and upset the Vikings at home. We're going to have the whole crowd going crazy, shouting skull at US Bank Stadium. The Texans are going to come in and they're going to show house, and that is rest out. I believe Joe Mixon. He probably will be playing. You know, these NFL players, they'll probably be playing. Aaron Jones, questionable as well. He's probably going to be playing. I would watch that center, though. That is important. Those two offensive pieces right here on the offensive line, especially against that defensive front. That's something to watch, you know. I'm a Panthers fan. Oh, yeah, we're going to get into that. Yeah, it is struggle. It is a struggle for both teams. Absolutely, Joseph. And best believe I'm going to get into Bryce Young. I do have my thoughts about that. People be going crazy about Bryce Young on Twitter. They need to relax. But we definitely will get into the Panthers. Absolutely, my friend. And yeah, absolutely. You're in the same position as us Giants fans. So give me the Texans against the Vikings at home. They're going to go in there and they're going to upset them. Alrighty, guys. We got the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New Orleans Saints. This is a fun matchup here. We have the Saints looking like if the season was to end today, they're crowned Super Bowl champions. That defense is just playing lights out football. That offense is actually looking good under Derek Carr. No offense. That coach, man, shout out to that coach. Got his people balling out. Got his people playing the game of football. Okay, they don't look like a Division 3. They look like a Division 1. Obviously, it's the NFL, but if you used to compare it to teams like the Giants, that's looking like a Division 2 or Division 3, and you got the Saints, it's actually looking like an NFL team. So that being said, they're playing against the tough Eagles that no one wants to play after a loss. Okay. And I get it. AJ Brown was out, but it's still a loaded roster. It's still a loaded defense. Okay, the Eagles is still them. Shout out to Atlanta. We're getting into them in a bit, but the Eagles is still them. And this is gonna be a lovely matchup. I love this matchup. Who am I taking? I'm taking the Saints. Why am I taking the Saints? Not to just ride on the Saints bandwagon because they're playing at home. If the Eagles was playing at home, I would have at Lincoln. I would have took the Eagles. This is a pick'em game. As much as the Saints look like this amazing team, which they could be, you know, the Eagles are going to come play them tough after a loss. And this is going to might be the game of the week. This is the game to watch. You know what I'm saying? If he wasn't a Giants fan and we don't have to put on that shitty Browns versus Giants game, we can actually watch a good game. I'm going to have this game on in the background while I support my New York Giants. Like, I'm just being me, guys. Like, I'm being completely honest. It's just so hard being a Giants fan right now. So I'm going to roast the hell out of this team until they get better. But this is a fun matchup right here. I'm a fan of the Shield before I'm a fan of the team. And this is a fun matchup to watch. But give me the Saints. Give me the Saints on this one. Alrighty. Let's go to the Chargers and Pittsburgh Steelers. Defenses, man. Defense. You look at the Steelers roster on offense, and you're like, man, how do these guys move the football? Like, really? How the hell do they move the football? Okay? But when you have a defense like the Steelers do, when you can hold teams under 20 points a game, the offense with Justin Fields doesn't have to do much to win the game. That's basically how it goes. Everybody before the year, I'm sorry to roast them again, but was like the Giants. The Giants defense is gonna be this. The Giants. We have no secondary. They're gonna move the ball on us. We were saying that all summer. All summer we were saying that. Okay, get better. Obviously, I call him play calls, Brian Dable, but come on, defense. I get it. Good red zone stops. Congratulations. That's what we need. We need red zone stops. But well, we were saying it all summer. They're gonna move the ball up and down the field on us. You know who has a good defense? The Saints. We said that on premium takes in the summer. Pittsburgh Steelers. We said that on premium takes in the summer. Honestly, man, the Steelers. What's gonna plague them? Injuries, probably. Mike Tomlinson. Obviously, you need to make it past the wild card week because I know some Steelers fans and they're extremely frustrated with you. But before we continue, let's get into another comment. Don't sleep on the Vikings, though. They're sneaky good this year. Our Giants are bad, but we're talking like this because what the Vikings did to us. That is true. The Vikings, look what they just did against the 49ers. You're absolutely facts on that. Then they go and they beat a stacked team. That's absolutely right. That's a good point. Yeah, we're overreacting, right? Exactly. We're overreacting because the Vikings, what they did to us in week one, we want heads, right? We want heads on stakes, right? And then we go and we don't even look at the watch Commanders because we all know Daniel Jones looks good against the Commanders. That's his team he can beat. You know, that's if this is a comic book, that's his villain that is just getting slapped the whole time. He's just getting effed around the whole time, right? But then when you go against a team like the Browns, that's why week 3 is super important to us, right, Murder? We want to see, okay, is the Vikings really that good or is the Giants really that bad? I want to see us move the ball against the Browns. How do we beat the Browns? What's up, Raphael? Thank you so much for being here. We won the football. We established the one game. Why are we not giving Singletary the ball when he's obviously, I'm sorry to go back on the game, guys, but us being Giants fans, we're going to real fast. What do we need? We need the Giants to run the football, give Singletary the ball. Why is he not getting the ball as much? We need to tire out Myles Garrett. We can't have Myles Garrett trying to kill Daniel Jones the whole game. Daniel Jones, be affected on your feet. Don't overthink things. Just go out there and play the game you love. Go out there and go play the game you love, man. You're like a deer in headlights, man. This offensive line is blocking for you. Malik Neighbors looks like a dog. Brian Dable, call plays to get your quarterback right. Call plays to help out your quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Get Hyatt on the field. Get Theo Johnson on the field and won the football. And I'm hoping, I'm praying that we can actually look good against a team like the Browns, a team like the Browns that is searching for a victory, a team like the Browns that wants a victory. Okay, it's going to play us tough at home. Defense, show up, please. Just for once, can you guys go out there and show up? Yeah, that Browns defense is gonna be a tough challenge for us for sure. Absolutely, absolutely. But it's gonna. This is why it's so. That's why this game. I don't want to just overlook this game. This is why this game is so important because it's really gonna show us what this team is made of. Or are you guys gonna look like you guys did against the preseason against the Browns? And I get it, it's the preseason, but you guys look tough. You guys got us excited for the season. Running on there, making open field tackles, going out there and actually playing football. And then you get into the season and that doesn't translate. Maybe they need more preseason snaps. With that being said, hydration check, and then we're gonna go get back to the Steelers and the Chargers. Good defensive matchup. Chargers and Steelers. This is a good one, man. We got Jim, like I said, high on him this season, but it's a tough matchup at home against the Steelers. That is literally like we just got done talking about. I don't know how they're winning these games. How they winning these games, I actually know. They're holding offenses under 20 points. You look at that offensive side of the ball on the Steelers, and you're like, man, how are they gonna move the ball on these teams? They're doing enough. The defense is holding them in games to win games. You look at a team like the Chargers coming out, taking a nice loss to come back from behind in week 1, getting owned in Oakland. I'm sorry, in Las Vegas, and then coming. Oh, actually, it was in SoFi, getting actually beaten in the first 2 quarters at home, and then coming up, rising and making improvements like a good coach does in gym, and coming out and sneaking that victory in week 1. And obviously going out there and doing what they did to the Panthers in week 2, which we don't really look at that game. We don't really judge that game. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this is a good matchup for both teams. This is going to be a lovely game to watch. I believe, obviously, it's going to be a defensive game. But give me the Steelers, man. Give me the Steelers at home. I just feel that they are for real. I've been saying it all offense. They are for real. Now the Chargers, I believe they're for real too, but I think the Steelers is just a better team. When you come to the offense side of the ball, yes, this is a great matchup for the Steelers. Is that defense really that good, or are they gonna stop the young studs in Lad and obviously in Justin Herbert and obviously Bryce Young? If not Bryce Young, I apologize. Bryce, Brandon Rice, if he can, Brandon Rice. That being said, the running game of the Chargers, the running game, Jim feeds, breeds, lives through that running game, and their running backs be getting some fantasy points. So if I'm the Chargers, I'm trying to run the football against a tough team right now and tire them out that way. This is going to be a low scoring game, I do predict. That being said, but give me the Chargers, man. Sorry, excuse me. Give me the Steelers at home. If this is a SoFi game, I'll probably still pick the Steelers. I just think that Justin is just getting more comfortable. Obviously, him and Pickens are developing a good relationship. He's a good target that he can always look to and depend on in Pickens. It looks like they got Washington his first touchdown of the season, and they should start utilizing that guy more as the tight end. Obviously, they got Pat still there as well. Um, Utilize Najee Harris more in the one game and the pass game. Obviously, you have one, you have good pieces, but I just don't it's not like it's not as potent as you would think a team that is 2-0 would be. The offense is really stripped, but Mike Tomlinson, this is on you, man. Like this Steelers team, if you guys are gonna continue down this path with this defense, you gotta somewhat find a way to get out of the wild card, because at the end of the day, like talking to some Steelers fans, they're just like, yeah, he's a good coach. Yeah, he wins every season, but he's getting picked in the high 20s and it means nothing. All of these other teams that don't win the Super Bowl is getting picked, early picks and getting better draft picks, while you're stuck in the 20s because we make the playoffs every year but don't do anything with it. It's like the Dallas Cowboys at this point. What is the point? What is the point if you don't accomplish something? As much as I dog on the Giants, at least when we make the playoffs, we know what happened. Obviously, 2016 was something else, but we know what happens when the Giants make the playoffs. We go on and we win Super Bowls. That's what happens. That's what happens when the Giants make the playoffs. We go out there and we actually get past the first round. That's what happens when the Giants makes the playoffs. We go out there and compete. Obviously, the Eagles we was nightmare matchup, but at the end of the day, we go out there and we beat the Vikings, right? So we know what happens when we make the playoffs. Come on, still, let's step your game up. As far as the Chargers, they're in the right hands, man. Give Jim some time. He's gonna build this team the right way. The Chargers might have a possibility and probably will be a playoff contender, playoff team this year. But as far as them winning the Super Bowl, I'll give Jim at least 2 to 3 years. Build your team up, get your guys right, and then off to the races. Alrighty. That being said, we do have the Broncos versus the Buccaneers at the Buccaneers home in Raymond James Stadium. This is going to be a fun matchup. Baker Mayfield is just looking like he's an MVP frontrunner. Honestly, he's been looking good. And shout out to Baker, man. Shout out to Baker for rising his career. He dropped, Bryce Young some tweets saying, "Put your head up, don't hang your head." It's all gonna be okay. I was once in your shoes, and boy was he. And now look how he revised his career, and now he's in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And people sleep on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all the time, but people forget that they're a they're division winner 3 times in a row. They're the only team in the NFC that's been to the playoffs for straight consecutive years. San Francisco didn't make it in 2020 due to injuries. So Buccaneers is obviously, people want to call me crazy, one of the better teams in the NFC. Like, they really are. They're like the Buffalo Bills. They make the playoffs, but they just don't win anything. Same like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I get it, maybe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, be like, Zion, how are you comparing them to the Buffalo Bills? Like, they're in the playoffs, but okay, yes, they're getting eliminated in the wild card, but this is a team that just won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. So it's funny how we look at the Buccaneers and we look at them as a middle of the team, middle of the road pack team, but yet they're appearing in the playoffs and get it. Okay, yes, the division sucks. Okay, but the division is way better this year. So we're all gonna love watching the Atlanta games. We're all gonna love watching the Saints games. It's fun. It's fun this year. It's fun in that division. Going against Sean Payton, man, and the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos out here struggling. Obviously, rookie quarterback needs to take his bumps, needs to get better. Really needs to get better. I have the Tampa Bay here. I really don't have much to say about the Broncos. I think Tampa Bay is gonna actually defend home court and win by 2 touchdowns. Nothing against Denver. What's up, Mac? Thank you so much for being here, my friend. The member of the Big Blue Crew. Nothing against the Broncos, but I just think this is a tough matchup for here. I don't see how that defense. I love Patrick Surtain. I just think he's one of the best cornerbacks in the league. He's amazing, but I don't see them stopping the Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers are going to move the football up and down the field. If Baker Mayfield continues to play the way he plays, he's definitely going to go out there and put up some numbers on the team like the Broncos. Obviously, the defense is what's going to probably carry them through this game. Is it going to show up in crucial moments, or are they going to be able to stop Tampa Bay in the red zone? That is the key question. Or is Tampa Bay going to go and win by 2 touchdowns like I think they will? Give me Tampa Bay, and I'm taking the points. I'm giving the points. I'm going to give the 6.5 to Denver. Oh, I know I want to talk about Bryce Young so bad, but let's talk about Green Bay versus the Titans first. Titans, man, I absolutely love Callahan, man. That is a coach, man. He's a coach that literally, if you guys didn't see that Callahan interview about Will Levis doing that stupid pass, I suggest you go watch it. Just go watch it right now. It's beautiful. Like, leave and come back. That's how beautiful it is. I usually don't say that, but leave my stream, go watch that and come back. Like, it's just beautiful. He's all like, he's saying, that was just dumb. He knows better. He's an adult. Like, he really goes into Will Levis. And I love it. Coaches coach like that. It's like we don't need the whole typical like moderated, like you sound like you got the DMV kind of coach talk. We want a coach to be honest with us. We want a coach to let us know how you truly feel. He's like, so what did you say to him? He's like, yo, read my lips. You know what I said to him. Absolutely love it. I think the Titans, man, they're 0-2, but they're not playing like they're 0-2, man. He got them boys playing tough, man. He got his boys playing tough. So shout out to Coach Callahan, man. That's a coach that I would be so excited for if I'm a Titans fan. Like, you're 0-2, but like you look at your coach and you look at the way he's coaching, you look at the way he's talking at press conferences, man. He's like, people are like, well, he's throwing his quarterback under the bus. I'm like, yeah, he's throwing his quarterback under the bus, but damn, he's not JV football, it's not Pop Warner. You take care of the football and you get 3 points. Thank you, Raphael, so much for being here. Another member of the Big Blue Crew. Link is in if you guys want to join. And they're facing the Packers. And I'm actually going to hand the mic over to Raphael, and I'm going to actually have him pick the winner because I'm going to take the Titans on this one. I think the Titans get their first win of the season. As much as I love seeing the excited Green Bay Rippins and Green Bay's defense, at the end of the day, they don't have Jordan Love. And I think as much as I can respect Levis, I'm sorry, not Levis, as much as I can respect Willis, at the end of the day, Jordan Love is the one that moves that vehicle forward. I think the coach is one of the best play callers in the league, one of the best great offensive mind heads in the league. But at the end of the day, I think Jordan Love is the engine that makes that vehicle go. I'm going to pass it over to Raphael. I want to give his opinions on the Green Bay Packers and the Tennessee Titans.
I mean, for Green Bay Packers versus Tennessee Titans, I mean, it will be so close. But if Love's getting back to be himself, it's very hard to imagine if they're going to win, because they're so much better about for the defense than the Jets and the Bears with Love starting. But it was having a very favorite because the last week they just had it like the dove, and it's going to be like a clicking it out. But between for like the running down system, it became like so much pressure because for over the last few weeks, they have it a run down, they have to shaping off because how they're going to explain over the years because the kind of club and the things that come to expect on that team between for the Titans. I mean, they made like it a something like it's still improvement for the new coaching, the online, the wide receivers, and a larger defense. So you're gonna think it about they're gonna probe it to the dart and then land it. I mean, the fate is gonna be like really happen to us because I know they're gonna get in the middle of the pack, but they really had to be interesting right now for the excited to see about it. The quarterback is very young, but they have a lot of potential. They have like a lot of coaching staff, Mr. Young and all talented with a new identity, and they're waiting to take like a lot of shape.
Absolutely love it on that. Alrighty, let's move on to the Packers. And who do you got? Who are you taking? Green Bay or you taking the Titans?
Yeah.
Which
so
team
I
are
will
you
tell
taking?
because that was very close. Yeah. I will say very close right now because it's gonna be like a really close game. but I will give it like this one: Tennessee Titans 21, Green Bay Packers 24.
I love it. You got 21, 24. You got Green Bay upsetting Tennessee at home. All right,
Yep.
guys, this is one of the key news of the day I wanted to talk about. I wanted to take my time on this. Obviously, perfect timing because we got the Raiders fan in the house. So shout out to Raphael.
Yep.
Came in at a perfect moment. But I do want to take this time to really and good thing you came here. We can have an open discussion about it. And please, if you guys chat, we can have an open discussion in the chat as well. Um, with Bryce Young. Now, I love this move. I love this move by the head coach of Carolina. Your quarterback is clearly shaken. He's clearly shook right now. You know, you guys brought him into a situation where he didn't really have any pieces around him, and he's getting teased a lot online, which is absolutely pathetic. And I don't understand people that can tease Bryce Young. Okay, was it a bad pick for Carolina? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I think this kid shouldn't get traded, like everybody is saying. Like, go trade him to Miami. Trade no, 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 no. You sit this kid, okay? You sit this kid. People maybe right. Maybe his time is done in Carolina. Maybe he does need a fresh start someplace south. Okay, maybe absolutely. I'm not an expert. I don't get paid for this. I do this for fun. But my opinion is, sit the kid like you should, and let him just watch a veteran at work. When you look at Andy Dalton, he's a veteran. He took the Bengals to the playoffs year after year after year when he was playing in Cincinnati. You know, he is going to make mistakes, but he is also going to recover from his mistakes. At this point, Josh Young is just not making the right plays for the team to succeed, and he looks absolutely horrendous. Bryce Young looks horrible out there, and it does look like his confidence is stripped, but it doesn't mean that you can't build that back up. I think sitting him was the most important thing to do for this team to succeed right now at this moment. This is a decision that they made because they seen the season getting thrown in the trash can. And yes, the season might still be thrown in the trash can. But at the end of the day, you're giving a young quarterback a chance to now not focus on preparing for his next opponent the next week, but focus on watching a veteran like Andy Dalton prepare for the opponent. Watch his work ethic. Watch what he does. Absolutely, he really seen that in practice and he really seen that around the facility. But now you don't have that pressure of playing. So you can really grab the clipboard, grab the tablet, should I say, in 2024, and you can actually take your time to learn and let Carolina build up their team. Next year, get some offensive linemen. Get some more weapons on him on offense. Get some more weapons on defense where we can actually stop people and don't go trading away your whole defense and not be able to stop anybody. Okay? And maybe eventually down the line, Bryce Young is ready to take the next step and start. But right now, I think you bench him for the entire year. You let him watch, you let him learn, you let him be in those meeting rooms, you let him be in those quarterback rooms, you let him really learn and build his confidence back up. And then he is ready to finally go out there and prove why he was taken that high and why he was the number one overall pick. Now, if Carolina feels like they just want to give up on him, which I think they won't, you go out there and he's gonna have trade value. I personally wouldn't trade him for the Giants. I don't want him near my team at all, but there is teams that is gonna probably want him. Let's get to Murder before we get to Raphael. Only thing is, I don't like how the coach is handling that. That is true. That he could handle it a whole lot better. First, he said Young is his guy and he believes in him, and then he turns around and benches him.
Yep.
You know, obviously, I do like that comment, but I will say this on this. Sometimes when you look at practice and when you look at film and you look at all of this stuff, where he at the beginning, he's like, yeah, he's my guy. I want to believe with him. And then you go out there and you actually play live football, and he's like, oh, no, this looks totally different. This looks totally different. I'm going to compare it to something I know a little bit better. There's a lot of MMA fighters that look absolutely great in the gym. Like, they look great. Like, in the gym, you watch him train, you're like, dude, that guy can be world champion. That guy is a UFC world champion. But then when they go and they fight, literally their record is like 2-7. And Raphael can vouch for this. It's like, yeah, you may have all the talents, but right now you're just not ready for live football. And I just think, and thank you, Murder, for holding on the chat. We really appreciate you, bro. I think that is true. His comment is right. But I do think that his coach seen it and be like, yo, let me just go back on my right, because he's going to cost us our whole season. We're not even going to win a game this season if we continue with him at this point. And I want to see what Raphael has to say about the whole situation. And then I am actually going to leave you to preview this whole game I'm not going to leave you. I'm going to be here, but I'm going to let you take the lead because I know it is your Raiders, and I don't see how Carolina comes in. And I respect you some Andy Dalton. I think it's going to be a more competitive game with Andy Dalton, but I don't trust that defense at all against Brock Bowers, Andrew Adams, and the
Yeah.
boys that's about to run havoc on them. So go right ahead, take it away, Mr. Raiders fan, and let's get it.
All right, so between for Carolina Panthers versus Las Vegas Raiders, what I just saw the presser between for Antonio Pierce, this is something that Antonio Pierce is not getting enough credit for because he completely changed the mental focus of the organization because it really mattered. Because what done about for the penalties is absolutely incredible, honestly, because that was something that I never thought would be possible. Will be possible because that's why the games are more fun to watch lately, even though this is going to be early. But how this is getting insane because after we just did an upset against Baltimore Ravens, insane how the switch flipped for the last season, and now we can do like so many things because he realized the discipline. Why is that with the team? See, he's too cold. I mean, he's very proved to fights, but also we just see like a lot of tons of talent. And don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Jackson Powers Johnson could make it to the roster, even about for a decent game against Carolina Panthers. And I know since the social media that I was scrolling up that Bryce Young is banned. I know this got it right now because they don't have to see like the much potential of the quarterback. So right now it's Andy Dalton. But right now Andy Dalton is 4-0 because he was exactly like the backup quarterback for Justin Fields for the Chicago Bears. And that's the same exactly that he learns about for Luke Getsy. Luke Getsy might be very careful about it. So there's still a one-on game, but there's like the second guys where they're celebrating instead of running back before they call it right now. So it feels like they had to figure it out how this defense is gonna be really working it out. It really changed at all because those guys are really disciplined. I mean, this is coaching pure and simple. They had to be like really aggressive. They had to put like a lot of heart, soul. But this one is gonna be like a lot easier than everyone. A lot easier because not only we just got Max Crosby, but also we just got Brock Bowers, Devontae Adams, Gardner Minshew, and the insane catch that Devontae Adams made it over the last week. I mean, they just really proved that this team and this organization has been improved a lot since Antonio Pierce came out to the organization, and they are ready to prepare a lot of more.
But in that too, I love it because Antonio Pierce, like first you look at that matchup and you're like, don't, it's a trap. Don't buy into the trap because you're coming off of a big win against the Ravens, and now you're gonna go to Carolina Panthers. Well, your Carolina is flying in, and you don't want your players to be like overlooking Carolina because at the end of the day, it's the NFL. It's any given Sunday. Carolina Panthers look crazy bad right now, but at the end of the day, they're still all pros on that team. You know what I'm saying? They're the best of the sport. Obviously, not the best of the best in the NFL, but there's a reason why those boys are in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? When you overlook teams in the NFL, you get slapped in the face, right? So hopefully, Antonio Pierce, and I think he will be that kind of coach that he's preparing these boys like they're
Mhm.
playing the Chiefs. He's preparing these boys like they're playing the Chargers. He's like Chargers being at the division team. He's preparing these boys like it's a good team or it's a division team because they don't want. I don't think they will. I don't think the Raiders are built like that, especially under Pierce, to come in and lay an egg or to come in and look bad after just beating the Ravens because we've seen it in the past where teams are on a high, looking so great, and then overlook a team and that team beats them. So obviously, I don't think that's going to happen in this
Mhm.
case. I am going to ride with the Raiders at home, and I will be giving the Carolina Panthers the +5. I'm comfortable, but there's a reason why Vegas puts it as +5. There's a reason why Vegas knows what they're doing. People will think it's +14 the way Carolina been looking. But we haven't seen Andy Dalton this season. The last time we seen him, he didn't look good. But Vegas clearly knows what Vegas is doing. So hopefully Antonio got his guys ready, and I think he will. Alrighty, let's go to Miami versus Seattle Seahawks. This is another subject that I wanted to touch on. Taking a little bit more extra time this show, obviously, because we have all these topics that I want to get to. blended in with obviously the news, the picks. That's what this show is going to be about. Obviously, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And then we got Raphael that's giving his selections as well, so we really appreciate it. Tua, life is short, and you did a lot for the game. I think if I'm his family, I'm telling him enough's enough. You can do other things. We seen great players like Luke Kuechly. We've seen great players like Andrew Luck walk away from the game. If they can do it, you can do it. We've seen a player in that just came off 12 sacks in JJ Watt and retired with a 12-sack season. That could clearly give much to the game, but he said, my time is done here. We just seen Aaron Donald go out on top. Okay, at the end of the day, Tua, you don't want to be one of those guys that literally every game you play, you get hit again, and now you're knocking years off of your life. Okay. I know you love this game. I know you want to continue to play this game. Um, and I love it because you rep Hawaii, you know what I'm saying? You're from the same island. I'm from Oahu. You went to St. Louis High School. I love that. But at the end of the day, it's like life is more than football. Doesn't mean you can't go out there and become a broadcaster. I clearly can see you on Sunday mornings on either Fox or CBS. You know, there's still other ways to be around the game. There's still coaching. You can always get into coaching. But if I'm his family, man, when I seen him get knocked out like that, and when he went stiff, like out cold, like when you go stiff, obviously Raphael knows we cover MMA, we love MMA. When you go stiff, like your brain literally is trying to save your life. Your brain is completely shutting down, trying to save your body, and your body is stiff. And he was stiff, and that's not the first time he's been stiff. Pause on that word stiff. But that being said,
All right.
for Tua, I think, if I'm his family, I'm just telling him just walk away. Shout out for Miami for not being stupid like they was, you know what I'm saying, and not actually putting him on IR. But to be honest, man, like Tua, you really need to walk away from the game. You really need to. And then at the end of the day, if you go out there and you want to continue, that's on you. But it was really scary seeing what we did. We've seen what we did see the last week. As for Murder says, he is taking the Raiders. The
Mhm.
Panthers are declining. I totally agree on that. And
Mhm.
as far as the game goes, uh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think that offense can function same way without Tua or without a notable quarterback. So I'm gonna get my pick, and I'm gonna say Seattle at home. So I think Mike is a great coach. I think he's gonna come out with a great game plan. I think it might be run the ball up and down the Seattle field, up and down, up and down, up and down. But and you're gonna see Tyreek Hill probably get some screens and not some screens, some jet sweeps or some reversals. I think Miami's gonna come in with like a running based offense this week. But I just think that Seattle is gonna be able to, make it a close game and score on them. And it is gonna be a closer game than what people think. There's a reason why Vegas is giving Miami the plus 4.5. I'll probably take Miami at plus 4.5 at the points. But if you want to have a winner, give me the Seahawks probably winning by 3. That's why I'm taking Miami with the plus 4.5. I think Mike is such a great coach that he can actually have the ability to move the football even without a quarterback. He was the reason why one of the reasons, I don't want to take anything away from Kyle, but he was the one of the reasons why the San Francisco's running game was so potent when he was there. And obviously San Francisco's running game is always potent. Raphael, come back. I think you had some communication errors. If you do come back, we would definitely be mine because I do want to see your picks for those games. But we're gonna move on here. So give me the Seahawks probably winning by 3. We got the Detroit Lions versus the Arizona Cardinals, and this is a fun matchup, guys. Cardinals actually looking damn great this year. I'm gonna say great, man. Okay, they're looking good, and not looking that fantastic. They had like a fantastic game against the Rams. That's why I say great because that's a division opponent. But yeah, when you have someone like Marvin Harrison Jr., you want to use Marvin Harrison Jr., and that's exactly what they did. You have someone like with the ability of Kyler Murray, you want to use that. And that's what I'm wishing that Chicago will see with Caleb Williams. Obviously, that line needs a lot of help, but going to the Arizona Cardinals, playing at home with a great quarterback, with a great wide receiver. Even James Conner, man, actually looking good on the ground as well, catching balls out of the backfield. You have McBride and you have that defense that still is being led by Buda Baker and the boys that is playing people tough. And that's what I love seeing. I believe they have a middle linebacker there. I'm totally forgetting his name. I don't want to say it because I could be totally wrong, but that guy is putting in work. That guy is putting in work. He has been putting his work in for the last couple of seasons. He is becoming a household name. And obviously, I apologize because I don't remember your name right now. That being said, they do have a defense that is going to show up and is going to play Detroit Lions hard. Don't think Detroit Lions are going to fly down that Phoenix, kick Arizona's back, and and fly back. But they're not gonna go fly down, kick Arizona's butt, and fly back happy to Detroit. It's gonna be a tough game. Both teams are gonna have grit. Both teams is gonna give each other the best what they can offer. And this is a fun game. This is a fun matchup. We have the Lions on the other side that is obviously looking like they're gonna be playing for in the playoffs at the end of the year. Dan Campbell, now I believe in his fourth season, got his boys looking great, got his boys looking right. Obviously, they did take a loss in week one, but they was able to bounce back. They got, they got good playmakers. And Jared Goff got a good line. Jared Goff is a good quarterback. Their defense is rated really high. I mean, like everybody's high on the Lions this year. But I think the Cardinals, as they shown in week one against the Buffalo Bills, that they are gonna play the Lions really tough and they are gonna not go out there and lay over. They're not gonna lay over for the Lions. The Lions are coming in. They're gonna go out there and they're gonna defend home field. And let's see if they can actually get the dub against the Lions. Do they get the dub? I don't know. And obviously that's a reverse, guys. They won against the Rams, but they lost against Buccaneers. This is a good matchup to see where the Lions are at because it's looking like the Rams right now at this point. Maybe need some things getting fixed. They're playing with injuries right now. They got Cooper Cup, they got Puka that just went down. They're they're trending down, but then the Rams are trending up right now. But yeah, this is gonna be a close game. I don't really know who wins it. This is gonna be a pick 'em. If I had to pick someone, I say the Lions. Yeah, I'll say the Lions get it done, but in a close matter. The Lions get it done in a close matter, maybe by 3, maybe by 1, maybe by 6, maybe by 7. But I don't see it being as the Lions are just gonna come in and own the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are gonna score. I think the Cardinals are gonna play them tough. Let's get to Murder's comment before we go down to Raf. Watching the Cardinals in the off season, Kyler is building a lot of chemistry with his team and receivers. Definitely not sleeping on them this year. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's actually looking so good that they allowed him to play Call of Duty again. So that's actually good. He's actually been playing Call of Duty, and that's not have been a distraction. And when you look as good as that, you can do whatever you want in the offseason, Kyler. You can play Call of Duty your whole off time. We don't care what you do. It's just when Call of Duty was taking advantage of you and you wasn't looking good on the field, then we have a problem. But yeah, Murder is absolutely right. Kyler absolutely looking like he built some chemistry with this team. And I'm shout out to them for actually getting the ball to their playmaker because at the end of the day, you can't leave the field with one catch of 4 yards. That's what that guy can does. He shows us what he did what he can do in college. His dad is obviously a legend. So go out there and you go ball out, Marvin Harrison Jr. And go right ahead, Raphael. Let's get it.
I mean, between for the Detroit Lions versus Arizona Cardinals, don't sleep with the Arizona Cardinals defense.
Hold it down. I'll be right.
They've been improved since 2021. But I guarantee that the linebacker unit, that'll be sure issue for all of us. Because right now it seems that they have it as so much better potential, not only for the quarterback, but also with the wide receivers, the running back. I mean, they just have it like a lot of times. But if you see, like, because they're going to be like surprised. Because Arizona, they just produced more than 800 total yards, but it was Marvin Harrison Jr. But I think this is going to be like a huge opportunity to see how they're going to really evolve. I mean, Detroit, they have an explosive offense, which is naturalized by Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're losing to the visitors, but no one could really expect it. The Arizona Cardinals completely trounced for the Los Angeles Rams, but they had no chance about that. So they have it as a welcome game. And Kyler Murray has the perfect passer rate. So I was telling you this one because it'd be like a sign. It'd be like a sign, but it should be like really interesting about for the quarterback and the wide receiver. So don't sleep with the offense because I know it's gonna be burning out for the year. So that would be like a big test for the Detroit Lions because I know the unit is very solid, and of course for Jerry Campbell. But they had to know about for these tacticals. The tacticals gonna make it out the defense very scrambled.
Absolutely. Sorry about that. I had to run and do something real fast. But before we move on, Raphael, who are you picking against Miami and the Seahawks?
All right, so Miami versus Seattle Seahawks. I mean, without Tua, I mean, they just feel like a lot of disaster. But I think that Miami Dolphins has been struggling a lot after Tua Tagovailoa, but they still got Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, but I think they need to really support the offensive defense. And Mike McDaniel knows how to go to the play calls
Yeah,
each
that's
one of the
fine.
hours. So I think it's going to be really important to see how they're going to balance about that. How are they going to balance? And right now, it seems that Miami Dolphins has been struggling a lot for the defense and the offense. But Seattle Seahawks has been like a really good sleeper at all.
Absolutely. And they were playing at home as well. Good
Yeah.
stuff on that one. Alrighty, we gave our opinions on the Lions versus the Cardinals, and now let's move to the Baltimore Ravens versus Dallas Cowboys. Both teams are actually looking for a win. The Baltimore were because they was up against tough opponents. So was Dallas Cowboys. Don't sleep on them Saints. That being said, though, this is going to be at AT&T Bank Stadium. Dallas Cowboys is coming off of a horrendous loss, and I think the losses continue. I don't see John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson and the Ravens defense going 0-3. I don't think it's possible. It could happen. Obviously, it's football, but man, can you guys just please give Derrick Henry the ball? I get it. He's up there in age, but bros, give him the ball. Let him run the ball down these guys' throats. Pause. I am super high on the Baltimore Ravens this week. I will take that -1 and I would dive at that -1. Um, that being said, I think the Cowboys play them tough. I think the Cowboys, show up at home in front of their fan base. But no ways is the old Ravens going to start 0-3. This coach is too good. This roster is too talented. Yes, they're off to a slow start, but they played two tough teams, two teams that is probably going to be there at the end of the year. So that being said, give them obviously with the Raiders, we'll see what happens with that. But at least the Chiefs, nothing against the Raiders. But I think Antonio is building them right, and I could see the Raiders appearing, maybe sneaking their way into the playoffs. That's why I said be there at the end of the year. But that being said, I have the Ravens in this one. Shout out to I didn't even know who I was going to give a shout out to. I was actually going to give a shout out to someone on Dallas, but I'm not going to give the ops any credit here. I'm going to just go ride with the Baltimore. Go right ahead. Um, Ralph, I was going to say shout out to CD Lamb because he was in my
Yeah.
fantasy and he's got me points. But please get me points, but please don't win the game. Go right ahead. Go right ahead, Raphael.
Okay, so right now, I mean, this is like a big opportunity to see how they're gonna evolve about for the defense of the Baltimore Ravens, because I understand that Dallas Cowboys, they're just being like at a lot of things shaking and all between for Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, but I really thought they might be going very special at all. But I think the Baltimore Ravens, they have really shocking out to the price. And I know they just lost it against for the Las Vegas Raiders, but it feels like if Lamar Jackson can pull up the upset, that would be really interesting. I know the Dallas Cowboys are 1-1, and Baltimore Ravens they got 0-2. So it's kind of like a really, really kind of an upset because I know the defense is really important because they're over the hell of the star because their pass defense leading the league in most parts of year for long. I mean, they're surely gonna bounce it back. They're surely having to bounce it back. I mean, no one see that really coming about for the 0-2 because they're being like a really paranoid after seeing for the yellow flag. But I think that Brandon Stephens versus CD Lamb because
Mhm.
they're surely getting the bounce at the back. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, they're going to explode in the secondary, but not very too much. And I know that the linebacker has a threat, which is Roger was guarding and Micah Parsons. If they're going to push over Parsons the same that how they did for Max Crosby, I mean, they're literally going to screw it up because if they wanted to expect Russell Games snap Conning Cross after showing improvement for the last week, I mean, since McCarry just like a Swiss knife, but why did they not rotate it well with Falel? Also, they got Trayvon Diggs, Rashad Batman. I mean, they give it like a breaking it in.
So they're gonna see like a lot of eyes, but it seems that it should be like really happening between for say Flowers because it became like the most at the keyest at the point right now. It will be
So, man,
brainstorming
thank
to
you
get
so much for
spread.
being here.
Yeah,
Yeah, Cowboys are about to get smacked. Absolutely. Sorry to interrupt you, Rafael, unless you were done.
yeah, because I know they're gonna be really down, but whatever comes for especially for the stripes and everything, if it's gonna to react to a big play right now, just like 30 seconds later, I rather see like an upset because it's not gonna be like really important at all, but it's gonna be so brainstorming to create mismatch opportunities.
Absolutely. And honestly, looking back at it, like Lamar Jackson, the Ravens could easily be 1-0, 1-1 right now. It could easily be 2-0 right now. It just comes down to crucial times in these games, right? When they say this game is a game of inches, when we watch Lamar Jackson throw that ball to Isaiah and literally his toe beyond the white line, clearly lost him the game. Obviously, his misses against the Chiefs, his misses against Bateman, his misses in two times in the red zone, So obviously the Ravens are actually killing themselves. I think they're a lot better team. Obviously, everybody knows that. We don't need to even go into that. And I think the Ravens are going to come out here and are going to put on a performance. And obviously, Dallas is going to move the ball. Dallas is going to score points. But I don't see Baltimore leaving Dallas without this victory. Alrighty, we got 49ers versus the Rams. I'm gonna let Raphael go first, and I'm gonna go second after this one. Go right ahead, Raphael, and hold it down for at least 30 seconds. I'll be right back. Thank you so much, my friend.
All right, so I love to see it between for the Rams versus San Francisco 49ers. Now listen very well because I know it's gonna be like a coaching sister right now. I know the 49ers they got a big offensive twin for the scheme of well college shenanigan, but I really understand that about for the playbook that I want to
Alrighty, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. Raphael, are you still there? Are we having communications problems?
But I know it's gonna be like a really serious trouble. But I wanted to see because without Debo Samuel and Chris McCaffrey, they have a serious problems right now. But I know the quarterback Matthew Stafford could be like a really upset because I know the defense of the 49ers, it doesn't seem like a really good improvement at all. But for Los Angeles Rams, we see like a lot of great things to improve about for like the coaching scheme of Sean McVay. That should be really good enough for that. That should really good for that. And for the 49ers without Debo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey, now this is gonna be like a really serious at all. It's not gonna be very close, but I want to see like the Los Angeles Rams can like really upset if the things are really working at all.
Good analysis. Yeah, the way Rams are looking right now, man, it's tough, man.
Yeah,
They can't win a game. You're looking at San Francisco, like I said earlier. Without CMC, without Debo, that offense is kind of looking washy. Obviously, Debo is playing, but when you take what your offense is based around and you completely remove them from the football field, it changes the way you have to do them. Give me the Rams here for the upset, guys. I know you guys
mhm.
are here. You guys are like, well, call me crazy. What are you talking about, Zion? Give me the Rams at home with the upset. I get
Yep.
it. They're out some key pieces. But at the end of the day, I believe in Sean McVay, and I believe Sean McVay is an elite coach in this league. Yes, maybe we just got done this in the Rams after losing those games. But at the end of the day, I don't see Sean McVay at home having a San Francisco 49ers come in without a CMC and maybe without a Debo Samuel and beating them. Yes, the San Francisco has a tough defense. Yes, San Francisco is the best team in the NFC, at least unless proven otherwise. At least they're coming into the season looking that way. Okay, they just lost against the Vikings. But when it's all said and done, when it gets to the playoffs and San Francisco's in the playoffs, they are representing the NFC for the last couple of seasons. That being said, this is a division game, and I do think that the Rams are going to play them tough. we're gonna play them hard, pause, and they're gonna get the victory. They're gonna defend their home field. They're gonna defend SoFi in this point, and they're gonna go out there and they're gonna get a victory against the San Francisco 49ers. Alrighty, moving on to the Kansas City Chiefs and the Atlanta Falcons. That being said, this is gonna be a tough game. And you guys call me crazy, but I have Atlanta Falcons. I have Atlanta Falcons defending Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Call me crazy, but I honestly think that the Chiefs. I'm not gonna say they got lucky because good teams know how to finish games. Good teams know how to win games. Okay, when you see what you seen last week, right? And you seen what you seen the week before that. Like I said earlier, if likely was to catch that ball, the Chiefs will lose that game. If Baltimore Ravens, if Lamar Jackson wasn't throwing total misses in the red zone, in the end zone, like totally missing these wide receivers that's open. Flowers one time, I believe, likely another time. That would be said, and then obviously likely the third time stepping on that line. But there was big plays to be made with Bateman down the field, right? I'm not gonna talk so much about Lamar Jackson because he's obviously one of the best in the league. But that being said, the Kansas City Chiefs could have lost that game. When you look at what they did with the Baltimore Bengals, with Cincinnati Bengals, Kansas City Chiefs could have lost that game, but they're a good team and they're winning these tough matchups, winning the Ravens, winning the Baltimore, winning the Bengals, winning against the Bengals, the Cincinnati Bengals. But that being said, I think Atlanta Falcons are just about to be rolling right now. You know, when you have a key team like the Eagles going out there, and I wouldn't call it a mistake because obviously if that play hits with Barkley and he catches that ball, they win the game. But going out there and capitalizing on the moment to win the game. We all watched that game. Hopefully, we all did. When you
Yep.
see Kirk Cousins laser focused at times where you need to be laser focused, that's why he gets played the big bucks. That's why he gets played the big bucks, guys. He gets paid the big bucks because he can go in there, get into Goku mode, get into Super Saiyan Kirk Cousins, right? Super Saiyan Kirk Cousins, and just hitting his receivers down the field, moving the ball down the field so fast on a legit team, on a legit Eagles defense, on an Eagles defense that's probably going to be there at the end of the year in the playoffs. He legitly did that. And that just builds so much confidence in this young team. I expect Bijan Robinson to have a big game. I expect them to utilize Kyle Pitts more. I expect Drake London to continue doing Drake London things. And I said it at the beginning of the season, and I'll continue to say it. I think Atlanta is my dark horse. I think Atlanta would not surprise me if they was in the Super Bowl this year. Call me crazy. All they need was a quarterback. Go check depth chart. Go look at that defense. Go look at that offense. Go look at that offensive line. The only thing that Atlanta is missing is the defensive line. And it doesn't matter because they're showing up. Now, I get it. I don't want to hold them to a high standard when they got teams like the Saints in their division. You got teams like the Buccaneers in the division. Zion, slow your roll. They need to get past them. Totally understand.
Mm.
But it won't shock me. Now, do I think they're going to be there? Probably not. But it won't shock me because I'm super high on the Falcons. I have them winning at least 10 to 12 games this year, and they proved why I was high on them. Give me the Falcons to beat the Chiefs and hand the Chiefs their first loss. Go right ahead, Rafael.
All right. So between for the Atlanta Falcons versus Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, there's one man that really terrifying for the Kansas City Chiefs. There's one name, AJ Terrell. AJ Terrell is like a demon in the wrong game because they never see like a cornerback consistently lay a hit stick like him. Because
Makes a
I
lot of sense.
understand wanted to put like everything about for like the free agency, and they just wanted to put it all. I mean, the secondary for Atlanta Falcons, it became so much important because they are like at the passing yards because they only had 3 sacks signed for the single lowest. But beyond for Bates and AJ Turo, the defensive backs were like a question mark entry for the season. But I know that the Kansas City Chiefs they had like the quarterback, the tight end, and of course for the defense. But the Atlanta Falcons, they have a great opportunity to go out games with the confidence. So, but if they counter against Mahomes, they can be able to play more free. I mean, there's nothing taken away for the effort so far because the two quarterbacks are not known for their passing. Because I know they understand that Kirk Cousins Phil leads up and against Philadelphia Eagles. But I know it thankfully because it's not gonna be like a lackluster because that shouldn't be like a really surprise. I know they're being about for the best defensive backs at the college level. So many other the cornerbacks in the league right now they're playing under him in Washington, but also the specialty of Raheem. It's gonna be like a really shocking about for the surprise because they proved they have the base safety combo back there because they have it like a real gunslinger the quarterback. But I hope it's gonna be like really back soon. But they gotta check back because they're not getting overrated. Because I know it's gonna be like a really surprise because Atlanta they have the best top corners of the base safeties because they haven't got a looking for a sack trail like at a Mobile. But it's very amazing how much secondary they can be like a linebacker are very good, but it's also as much front seven is much improved. So I will say this give me the upset between Atlanta Falcons because I know that Kirk Cousins will definitely lit it up for against Patrick Mahomes.
Absolutely. And I love that you're riding with me on that pick. And honestly, it's Patrick Mahomes, guys. He can come in and do Patrick Mahomes things. And I'm not gonna sit up here and say he can't. He got Rice, he got Xavier Worthy, he got Travis Kelsey. But at the end of the day, he got Pacheco, but Pacheco's injured. Pacheco, I think Pacheco's still banged up. It says no key injuries, but I think Pacheco's still banged up. And Pacheco's probably still gonna play, but I just have a feeling that the Falcons are going to continue what they did last week with that strength of moving the ball down the field, and then the secondary to go out there and play like we expected them to play. And obviously, you brought up AJ Terrell, and I thank you for bringing him up. And I totally forgot to bring him up in my point. But I'm really high on AJ Terrell. Obviously, I was high on him when he came out of college. He got hurt early on. His NFL career kind of had to get put to the side, but now he's showing, and now he's emerging where he should always be, some of the top tier level cornerbacks in the game. And AJ Terrell is definitely emerging as one of them. You know what I'm saying? Creeping his way up there to the top five. As for the Chiefs, I don't want to have a second take here on them, but Travis Kelsey, he's not looking as good as he was. He's showing his age a bit. Now, Travis Kelsey's still him. He's probably we
Mhm.
all know that the Chiefs are gonna show up in the playoffs. The season is just kind of like the season for them, but at the end of the day, they are 2-0 for a reason. Good teams know how to win games. So that being said, we're both taking Atlanta. Let's get it. Already, we have a tough out here for Jacksonville, flying over to Highmark Stadium with the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be a tough out for Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I get it. Jacksonville Jaguars are a better team than the record says. Jacksonville Jaguars are playing tough on defense. Jacksonville Jaguars could come in here and beat the Bills. It wouldn't surprise me, but it's hard for me to take the Buffalo in this game. Would it shock me if Jacksonville absolutely comes in here and beats the Bills? No, it wouldn't shock me. But I'm gonna have to ride with the alien, Josh Allen. I mean, like as long as he's playing and he can do the things that he can do, and he's getting a chemistry with his young receivers. I know Coleman didn't get that much grabs last week, but I think Coleman's going to be in the game plan this week. I honestly think Dalton Kincaid is going to get a touchdown or two this week. I say that every week, but I honestly think he actually gets it done this week. And the defense, man, the defense are playing tough, man. You have Jacksonville Jaguars that's going to be looking for a win. They're going to come in. They're not going to come in weak. They're going to fly up to New York to play. They're going to play them really tough. But I'm just gonna go with the more experienced team at this point and continue that winning streak. Give me the Buffalo Bills. Who do you have on this game, Rafael?
Mm, that will be like a good factor at all because I know between for like Jacksonville Jaguars versus Buffalo Bills, I mean Travis 18 it will be like a factor because they need like an ice for it off of the game. And I know because they have electricity, he has the ball, but the Jazz will go for the run heavy, quick passing game attack as they're gonna know if the only chance for snatching any victory for the certain defeat. Honestly, it's gonna be like a really tough matchup, and they're gonna feast it off with a lot of defense. But I know you could be like really able to have the passes because it's not gonna be like really crazy at all. Because I know that they just wanted to beat it at all, and they give it a look at the tackles because they just wanted to see like a bump for everything. I know it's gonna be like really happens at all, but there's gonna be like a lot of crazy between for Josh Allen. I know that Josh Allen he became so much popular the key to the part because I know that the left hand situation, but I know it's gonna be like a power glove. I know he's being said because he doesn't appear to be broken. He's able to grab like a after he did, but I know that John Shanley has a good quarterback throwing technique reference. I know it's very good enough for the high level quarterback play, but it seems that they need to define out the calls for like the secondary and of course for the space. But I know that it's not going to be like a real deal right now. But it seems that Buffalo Bills they just have like a lot of things going to happen for the safety, also for the right receivers, because has been like alone quietly enough for the transition for the style of play. The teacher are reaching the maximum potential, and it's going to be like a lot of explosive plays. And I know they understand it's going to be really tough, but I just wanted to say that they're gonna give the Buffalo Bills of the upset right now. So I'd rather it could be like everything could happen. So I know there's gonna have a lot of teams that give you like a very undefeated. But give me like the Buffalo Bills in a close game. 35-21 against Jacksonville Jaguars.
Absolutely love it. Alrighty, yeah, guys. So do got a double header, guys. We do got a double header, and you don't see this normally in the NFL, but we have especially in Sunday Monday night slates. But we have a game starting at 4:30, and then we do have a game starting at 5:15. And obviously, I'm on the Pacific Coast, guys. So obviously, that's 8:15 for you guys, and 7:30 for Eastern Standard Time. But I just forgot to mention, I'm so glad that the Kansas City game versus Atlanta is on prime time. I love that. I love that NBC late night matchup. I love that. That's
Mhm.
going to be fun to watch. And if you missed it, both me and Raphael is taking Atlanta in that game. Alrighty, get into the final game of the week, wrapping up on Monday night. We do have now. Keep in mind, like I just said, guys, double slater on Monday night, so two games on Monday night this week. We got the Washington Commanders and the Cincinnati Bengals, and this is the Cincinnati Bengals that is going to be trying to defend home stadium against a young Commanders team, riding off of a in division opponent victory. They just beat us. Sad to say, but they did. Only if you had a kicker. But that being said, we have Cincinnati, man, and Cincinnati is 0-2, and they are looking hungry for a victory, and I think they get it done. They still have some key injuries, but that being said, I don't think that the Commanders, even though riding high off of that victory against the Giants, I honestly think that we should have beat them. I'm not. I mean, you guys heard my thoughts earlier in the streams. I absolutely demolished the Giants. Absolutely gave my thoughts on the Giants, but at the end of the day, Washington Commanders barely escaped that team. And when you barely escape a team like the Giants, then you're going against a team that should be there at the end of the year, a team that is looking and is hungry for the first win in the Cincinnati Bengals. It is a terrible place to be. And that's what's going on with the Washington Commanders. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that Jaden Daniels will still do Jaden Daniels things. We'll still running up and down the football field. We'll still go out there and try to make plays and try to extend drives and try to do the best that he can do. But I'm going with the veteran quarterback in Joe Burrow that proved to me that he's good enough to take his team to the Super Bowl and proved to me that he is not going to start the season like Lamar Jackson 0-3. Lamar Jackson is not going to go 0-3. Joe Burrow is not going to be 0-3. And what's up, Unpopular? Thank you so much for being here, my friend. Make sure you guys go check out a member of the Big League Crew, Unpopular Opinion Sports, NYG22. Y'all know him. He's on the channel more than I am, and I'm only on here, once or twice a week, but it's due to my schedule, guys. I never appear more on those shows because I know these boys, they hold it down for the channel, talking Giants football, doing live streams. They got another live stream tonight, obviously calling the game. So make sure you guys always tune into the channel, like and subscribe, and not only the channel, but also on Popular's channel. So thank you so much for being here, my friend. And that being said, give me Cincinnati, man. Give me Cincinnati. Go right ahead, Raphael.
Yeah, between for Cincinnati Bengals versus Washington Commanders. Because how this is gonna really happen at all? Because I know this is gonna be really excited. Because I know they took like a loss very hard against for the Kansas City Chiefs. But all of the evidence points right now because if they wanted to pray it out, because realistic, there's gonna be like a really good strong because of about for the work for the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, they're gonna be like a really at all for this one, but the defense and the quarterback, which is Joe Burrow, they have a lot of great things to do. I mean, for the coverage for the games, I mean, of between for Cantel and Braid, it could be a real threat for the Washington Commanders. But it seems that they have a lot of energy, but They just wanted to get feeling him out right now, but they don't want to take it like down for anything. They don't want to take anything because I know they're gonna be like really upset because if they're gonna lose right now, it seems that very screwed at all because they're gonna build like a computer algorithm that will say anything about for the losing. It's not gonna be like a really losing. But I mean that Trey Hendrickson for the Bengals, you notice about for the play because they need a lot of more for the rest of the defensive line. It's very hard to really to say about it. But between for Rankins and Hill, I mean, they need more for the pass rush outside of the Hendrickson because it goes back to the something. It has the perfect playbook for the Cincinnati Bengals. At least they're gonna run for the leg of the field goal routes because I know there's gonna be like why the John Anthony wasn't in the field because I know they have a good camp right now, but it should be like really started at all. But one of those things are gonna look bad, even they're gonna returns. It will be great to see another hit on the ground running, but if it comes back for the defensive routes. So I'm gonna be like Cincinnati Bengals is gonna crashing it down for the ultimate surprise. So give me the Cincinnati Bengals, not only for the close game, but I will say this: Cincinnati Bengals 30, watching the Commanders 20.
Absolutely love it. And like I said, I was gonna do it this week, and I totally forgot to give my scores. But thank you so much, Raphael, for giving your scores and predicting the games with me. Keep in mind, guys, Raphael been holding it down on the Combat Club, and the Combat Club has officially made its way to the Big Blue Crew Network. So shout out to you, my brother. Thank you so much for holding down the Combat Club. I can't even appear to my own podcasts nowadays. Absolutely unpopular. Hit that like button. Don't be a effing ninja watcher and support the channel. Next time you guys are probably going to see me is giving my fantasy picks on the Giants Convo. We preview the games every week, guys, right before kickoff. So make sure you guys tune in to the channel. I know we have some upcoming streams tonight. We are loaded, guys. We have so much things coming. Like I just mentioned, the Combat Club is now officially on the channel with me and Raphael. We have a lot of other streams. We're calling basketball games. The boys, not me, but the boys. The boys are calling basketball games, calling college football games, giving analysis, doing film breakdowns. This is the place you guys want to be if you guys are a sports fan. Can't wait for the NBA season right around the corner, about to start in October. I'm a big NBA fan. Unpopular is a big NBA fan. Raphael is a big NBA fan. You know what I'm saying? So this is the place to be. As far as fantasy goes, I am going to be giving my fantasy picks on the Giants Convo early preview game we do Sunday morning. So make sure you guys do reach out for that. And keep in mind, I am probably going to be doing almost a Zion Zenith events show. There's a lot of stuff that I watched that I just want to vent about. So you guys might see a shorter show for me, a 30-minute show in between the week. I haven't decided on the day I'm going to do it, but I'm going to vent about Sean O'Malley. I'm going to vent about him losing. I'm going to vent about what I think about these rookie quarterbacks. I'm going to vent about my team in SC. We have a big matchup against Michigan, and I know you guys know if you're subscribed to Zenith that sometimes my channel can be inconsistent, and I'm trying to fix that for you guys. I have my supporters, and my brothers really that is supporting me and really believing in me in Raphael, in Unpopular, in the rest of the Big Blue Crew. You know what I'm saying? And all of you guys in the chat, you guys have been holding it down. And thank you guys so much for stopping in. You had Alex, Big Blue in the Bronx. We had Murder that was in the house. We had King Taj that was in the house. Joseph stopped in. We had Mac the Giants fan in the house. Thank you guys all for joining today. We had Eman in the house. And this has just been great. I'm slowly working my way back on YouTube. I don't want to commit too much, but eventually, guys, you guys will get sick of seeing my face on this channel. With that being said, I'm gonna give the Mac. I'm gonna give the Mac pause. I'm gonna give the mic back over to Raphael. Plug your stuff. Where can these people find you? But before you do that, shout out to Kenny. NBA player Tyrese Maxey was seen with Bryce Young's now ex-girlfriend at a football game in Philly. Man. It's hard to be Bryce Young right now. If that's true, good that happened. You want that to happen. What I mean by that is now you know the true feelings of the girl. She was just with you for the money. Bye, bitch. See you later. I don't need you in my life. Okay. If that's what you're gonna do, then that's what you're gonna do. I don't know the full story, but if Kenny is saying that she broke up with Bryce Young and now she's with Tyrese, let her go be I don't want to say that word on the channel. You go be that, because at the end of the day, Bryce Young is probably going to continue to play football one day, like we talked about. he needs to sit for now, but one day maybe he can recover. And Bryce Young ain't over yet. This is not the last we've seen from him. I think it was the right decision to get coached, get benched. We'll see what happens with that. But if a girl wants to be that kind of girl, at least you know her true feelings. And I'd rather it happen to him now than he gets hurt in the future. But if he married this girl and she just with him for the money. So good thing that happened now. So thank you so much, Kenny, for bringing us that late news. And yes, as NBA season starts, you guys know me, I'm a Miami Heat fan. I'm going to dabble in that as well. Wild stuff, dude. Absolutely wild stuff. Go right ahead, Raphael. Where can these people find you?
All right, so you can find me on the social media right now on my YouTube channel, Capitana Fucho. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Rumble. I'm on everywhere because right now, for the last week, I just provide like my review between Las Vegas Raiders versus Baltimore Ravens. And right now, this week, I'm gonna bring like a film study and my preview between Carolina Panthers versus Las Vegas Raiders. And over for this weekend, I might be a good a little surprise for my channel, so you're gonna stay tuned for that.
Absolutely. We need to get water sponsor on this channel.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. Can't wait for NBA season. Absolutely. I know
Yeah.
Unpopular is big on NBA. They got their shows too, Heart of the City, and I'm totally forgetting the NBA show that they do, talking about NBA. But thank you guys so much for joining, man. As far as all Big Blue Crew members going on here forward, I will be putting the link in the group chat when I do these picks. So you guys are more than welcome to join me, like Raphael did today. And thank you guys all for watching, man. You are the reasons that, inspires me to continue grinding. And, sometimes I have so much stuff going on in my personal life that I just don't end up doing the show. But I'm gonna get more consistent on that, guys, and you guys are gonna see more and more of me going forward. That being said, you guys have a wonderful night. You guys might get a sneak on a combat club, maybe before Sunday morning, but we'll see how me and Raphael's schedule looks like. Maybe we do one late tomorrow, Friday, or something like that. And most definitely, thank you so much to Blacktop Podcast Friday nights. Absolutely. That's the broadcast that I totally slipped my mind. But you guys make sure you guys go check Unpopular out as well. Like he said earlier, hit that subscribe button. Don't be a ninja watcher, and please support the channel. Let's get it, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Let's